Thank you. So, it started with me just getting home. I was, bored and wanted to try something new. So I grabbed the Obsidian I had made for the purpose of working with Saturn and necromantic forces specifically. Um, Not only to make it safe, but to make it more, I guess, compact into this one piece of obsidian. That way I just had it there. Um, it is partly a safety thing, the safety of Saturn and everything else. That way, uh, things don't go wrong. And I had a candle, so I set the intention, so to speak, that it was to be a portal to those um, planes of the dead. Um, I made sure that it was only for communication purposes and that it was kept peaceful. That way, there was just communication occurring, nothing else, filtering through, and that it was peaceful interactions because I didn't want some sort of poltergeist situation to occur. It's delicate work, and we want to make sure that it stays delicate. Um, so I had lit it upon holding the obsidian in my hand and just sort of called out, because I wasn't looking for anything specific. I had turned the candle into a portal of the dead. I had the obsidian in my right hand. I was just waiting. And not very long after, the candle was flickering, and I could tell that there was a perceived change, a shift in the ambient atmosphere. Whether it was a drop or just a flush, just some sort of change. The shift can feel different at different times. Sometimes it just feels like a bubbling feeling. Sometimes it can feel like a drop. It sort of depends. But after that, you can just tell it's a very big intuition thing. Um, I would look at the candle and let the thoughts pour in. And that's how I would base what I was saying, because I would get a feeling from the candle, like an emotion. And I just paired that with the words that were popping into my head. Like when he was talking about his sorrow, I felt like this external, but I could still feel it, even though it wasn't in me, this external, very, very deep sadness. Um, so I was able to match that feeling that I could perceive with the words. Um, but yeah, I was just asking my questions aloud and letting it come forth. But um, yeah, the feeling is very interesting.
So when you were experiencing the entity that you were working with, can you go into a little bit of some of the background on that with what you can share?
Oh yeah. So I don't think there's anything really that needs to be kept private. Um, from what had popped up, it was a male somewhere in the city, but um, he had died due to what he called an accident, something that shouldn't have happened. Um, I believe that it was a spontaneous act of violence, like a road rage or something along the lines of that, where two people just get into a sudden altercation and it goes deadly. So he said that, it shouldn't have happened. Hoopla, hoopla. Like it wasn't supposed to happen. Um, I could tell that there was like a deep sadness at that time because then I started getting insight about his family and leaving, like how it must have felt to leave them behind and be forced to wander. And then immediately after that, this very deep, bubbling anger about it's like the resentment of being taken away. like it's sad, like it's sobbing sad. And then right after that, it's paired with why would you do this? You know what I mean? Um, which was directed towards whoever killed him. Um, after that, I asked what it was like to wander, and I almost got this like vision of sorts of just like walking in the night, but there were things that he would occasionally run from, and I delved more into the fight or flight instinct that occurs even after the flesh, which is interesting that it still occurs, that there's still that primal intuition, that primal reaction. Um, Afterwards, I had asked if there was any advice, life advice. And he told me to hold my loved ones close because it could be taken away at a moment's notice, as was done to him. And then I had closed it by, wishing him peace and everything, just thanking him for his time, and then closing it. Afterwards, I'd burned ashes of a frankincense incense that I had burned earlier to sort of purify it and return it back to a base state.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you very much.
Of course, thank you.
Absolutely.